Good morning. When I talk about governing reformation, I'm not just talking about legislation we currently have on the books. I'm also talking about coming into reformation of understanding things that generationally my millennial generation was taught K through 12 and then going to post education and getting that degree in a field will guarantee you a high paying job. But this is not true. Nothing in the education system guarantees you a high paying job. No degree, because we don't have any legislation that ever said if you get this level of education, you must be paid this amount of money. There is no legislation for that. If you look at the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, it only talks about the establishment of minimum wage, the establishment of overtime pay, the establishment of record keeping, and the establishment of child labor laws, but nothing educationally. So when I was growing up, I was pretty much told with the understanding that the smarter I become institutionally, when I go to apply for a job, that I should get a job that's a good wage paying job based on my education level. This is what a lot of people were taught. So we funneled ourselves through this institution, got our higher education. And then reality set in that, hey, we don't have to pay you based on your intellect. And then you have to do all of these extra things. Now, millennials, I'm really saying that it is our time, and we are asking our boomer generations and our Gen Zs and Gen Alphas are dependent upon us to step in and start to reform a lot of the things that have been laid in place. Some of my videos talk about a term, economic foreshaping, the way we kick the can down. Millennials, it is our time to get in here and see if we can be the answer. There's got to be answers, but we need individuals. There is a place for tenureship, but there is also a place to kind of let some of these new perspectives come into place. If the idea is that if I go to college and I get this degree, that I should get a job in an economy that is going to allow me to live a comfortably happy life today, instead of hoping that when I turn 65 that I'm healthy enough to enjoy the fruits of my labor, we have got to get past that. Millennials, we have got to put in place an economic system that allows for American individuals in Floridian to all live comfortably today. All live comfortably today. We cannot keep hoping that tomorrow is going to be better. But we understand that there is legislation that has been put in place that has already taken root. And now we are looking at later having to enjoy the single life that we're given. I'm asking my individuals who would like to get behind me and push me forward to understand that yes, there are things that are currently in place that we need to fix, and that there is no easy fix to this. There is no easy fix. If you go look up the Fair Labor Standards Act that was enacted again in 1938, and then you also go look at the Equal Pay Act of 1963. The Equal Pay Act was just something based on sex. There is no legislation that is backing education. There's no legislation that says that if you meet this educational level, you will, you must be paid at this rate or this amount. So that's kind of been like a kick in the face. And that's what you're kind of seeing from millennials and Gen Z and the youth that's going to come up after that, whatever they name those generations. That's what we're kind of seeing. So as governor, I'm going to work really hard to ask you to weigh in on, hey, how should our economy move forward? Where do we actually put a stop and say, you know what, we're not doing this anymore? We're going to start moving forward this direction. And there will be a lot of pushback. There will be a ton of pushback. But now, when I talk to my daughter, I tell her, hey, there are no guarantees that the intellect that I am pushing on you will guarantee you a solidified place in this economy where you do not struggle. There is no guarantee. You're going to have to currently in this economy find your niche. There are many educated individuals who by the standard of ideal are not being paid at the acumen of their intellect. And to me, that's a problem. But through capitalism, unregulated capitalism, who stands to decide whether or not you should be paid because you went and paid all this money to get this education? Now they have jobs out here saying, we don't even care if you don't get educated. What is that about? Now they're saying, oh, yeah, come work for major tech companies. Come work for us. Don't worry about education. It's not even a big deal anymore. What target audience is that for? We still have, go look this up, at some point in our lifetime, we have to come up with a solution for the plus $2 trillion that was borrowed from Social Security that has yet to be paid back. I have been trying to research what was the payback plan when they started borrowing against Social Security. If you have ever had to pay bills and you've had to worry about where your next check was coming from, and if you ever had to budget, you always put a plan in place to pay for what you take out. We used to say you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, but you always needed to know how to pay back Peter and Paul, and that's important. So help me put some reformation back in this system. Thank you guys and have a great day.